Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday, March the 6th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, most of the newspapers, most of the media today is talking about the border crisis, what is happening down on the border. What's happening is that our resources are stretched thin. We simply cannot handle what is being thrown at the border. The resources are exhausted. The Border Patrol agents are exhausted. We're getting more people than we can handle. The cost of all of this, of course, is going up and up and up every day. I saw a statistic that 50 people a day have to end up in hospitals, public hospitals, that is, because they come in dehydrated or they come in with medical problems, so we have to put them in a hospital. Well, who's paying for that? Well, that's a public hospital. The taxpayers are paying for that. And then, we have to put these people in housing. We have to put them in shelter. Who's paying for that? Well, the taxpayer is paying for that. So obviously there's a crisis on the border. There is a problem on the border. We're being overwhelmed by the number of people who are trying to cross the border. And the only thing the Democrats can say to all of this is, well, Trump is manipulating the crisis. Really? Well, they need to see what's going on. They need to talk to the Border Patrol agents. And I'm sure the Border Patrol agents will tell them that this is a real crisis. And we as a country are going to have to figure this out. We have to understand that the United States, like any other country in the world, has the right to have borders. And those borders have to be respected. And that's the message that we have to send out. The message is, look, you want to come to the United States? There's a legal way to come to the United States. But if you come in illegally, we're not going to let you in. We're going to stop you at the border. We're not going to let you in. And we have every right as a sovereign country to do that. And somehow that message, I think, got lost over the last few years, particularly during the Obama years, when I think that a lot of the immigration laws were used for political reasons rather than for national security reasons. So I think it's time for both Democrats and Republicans to get together and stop arguing about process and stop arguing about my way is better than your way. And everybody needs to realize that there is a crisis on the border, that there is a humanitarian crisis on the border, there is a national security crisis on the border. When your border is overwhelmed by people, you no longer have a humanitarian crisis. You now have a national security crisis because, not everybody who wants to come into the United States through the border is a poor immigrant from Central America. There's some bad people who may want to come in that way. They could end up, committing a terrorist act or whatever in the United States. So I think it's time for both sides to sort of stop arguing about, who's going to win politically, who's going to lose politically, and realize that there's a problem and there's a solution. In my opinion, the problem begins by identifying the problem, at least being honest about the problem, that our resources are overwhelmed, and then try to do something about it. Try to do something about the asylum laws, try to do something about maybe giving more resources to the Border Patrol. But I think the number one message that we have to tell people is that if you want to come to the United States, there is a legal way to come in. And if you want to come in outside of that legal way, you're not going to be allowed in. We're not going to let you into the country. And we have every right as a sovereign country to do that. We have every right as a sovereign country to say, this is the border, and this is what you have to do to come into the United States. And that's what we got to get back to that. We got to get back to having a little bit more common sense, frankly, in how we deal with immigration. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, on Twitter, and on my blog. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye.